Let's talk about sports, baby. From the stands of a sports fan, my man Pots and Pans live stream. Yes, Super Bowl 60 is officially announced February 8th, 2026. It will feature the New England Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks just put the Los Angeles Rams to bed right now. They won 31-27, just beat the Matthew Stafford and Los Angeles Rams. Now, great game, great back and forth. Went a lot of mistakes. All right, a lot of mistakes on the LA Rams part. If you ask me personally, it was the kickoff, number 19, returning it for the Rams. Dropped that kick. That was probably the hugest momentum turner. But there were a lot of drop passes by receivers. Flags on the LA Rams part, decisions going for it on 4th and 1 instead of kicking the field goal, like that type of stuff. It cost the Rams, and it cost them their trip to the Super Bowl 60. Now I can speak from a hater's perspective and say that as a Lions fan, I know Matthew Stafford and I know him to choke, but we can't really blame this on Matthew Stafford. If I'm being honest, he was getting the ball there, and he wasn't really causing those calls. So you got to give it up to everybody except for Matthew Stafford. Respectfully, objectively, he had a pretty good game and season, but I still don't like Matthew Stafford. I'm just going to say all that. But other than that, congratulations to the Seahawks. They got the job done. Sam Darnold getting the Seahawks to their 4th ever Super Bowl. A rematch of, what was that, like Super Bowl 40-something? When Russell Wilson and Tom Brady both were quarterbacks for the New England Patriots and Seattle Seahawks. So a rematch. But different quarterbacks, different era, basically different franchises. This is the Super Bowl. Is this a Super Bowl that you are excited for? The New England Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks. Are you excited for this? Are you ready for this? Is this something that you really want to plan your day around with Bad Bunny being the halftime performer? I say that with all due respect. I don't listen to Bad Bunny. So, not only is my team not playing, but no team that I really even like for real is playing in the Super Bowl. And then nobody that I listen to is even performing. So, I really have no real reason to watch Super Bowl other than, report on it from the stands of a sports fan, of course. But this is what we have now. The Patriots and Drake May versus Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks. February 8th, Super Bowl 60, LX, extra large, pause. Who you got for that? Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. Also speaking on Denver Broncos game. The Broncos versus the Patriots game. That was an interesting game also. That was the AFC Championship in Denver. Now, the first 3 quarters of the game, it was basically no snow. It was cold out there, maybe a little bit of drizzle, but it was no real snow. By the 4th quarter, it was the field was covered. It was a blizzard out there. Saying all that to say, it was a very low-scoring game between the Broncos and the Patriots. The Patriots won 10-7. And that just a field goal that they missed, the Broncos missed a field goal. And actually, it was because we all thought it was because of the weather. It was actually Leonard Taylor from the Patriots. Leonard Taylor III tipped the field goal from Broncos kicker Will Lutz. And that essentially set them back to 3 points that they needed to tie the game and take it into overtime or whatever the case. But the Broncos lose on their own territory, in their own terrain and weather. This is the second time in the playoffs where an away team actually beat a home team that should have been used to the elements of the snow and the weather. It is what it is. But Broncos, they took that loss too. Well, very well, good season. I ain't gonna lie, Broncos were working with a backup quarterback, Jarrett Stidham. Everybody call him Stiddy. The city believes the Mile High City believes in Stiddy. There were people holding up signs that said stuff like that. It was interesting. It was cool. After a while, I actually caught myself rooting for the Broncos because they had a backup quarterback. That whole underdog syndrome that a lot of people have. But they just couldn't get it done. Stiddy made a couple mistakes. He haven't thrown a pass in a couple years, but he looked good throwing a 54-yard pass just to kind of start things off in the game to a receiver down the field. And he actually made some pretty good plays to keep them in the game. They didn't get dog walked, the Broncos. But nonetheless, they didn't pull it off, so they lost to the Patriots. Now we got the Patriots and the Seahawks in the Super Bowl.